I shot my PS5 and I am glad that I did it. I got a funny story for you guys today on a situation that happened to me a while ago. This was last summer, fall, and around this time I was spending a majority of my energy working on a project that I was doing for the Evolved Method, for the tribe, my clients, which was making a full PE guide. PE stands for penis enlargement. Yes, it's real. Check out the 4-hour masterclass in the description below where we talk about it. Use the timestamps to go to where you want to go. So that was my main project. My purpose at the time was making that guide. And now that it's done, I can say it is by far the best PE guide that exists on the internet today. By far, I'm very proud of it. At the time was also when a certain video game dropped, which was NBA 2K26. Now, I've always been a little bit of a gamer. Back in high school, that was definitely my clique, if I had one. All of my close group of friends were gamers. That's how we met each other, really, and got close. And that's what we would do on weekend nights, get on the mic and get on games together. Wouldn't be really going to any parties, wasn't really invited to any parties. But I was very content with my life and my friends at the time, and I have no regrets looking back at how I spent my high school experience. One of the games that I specifically always loved was NBA 2K. The first NBA 2K I played was NBA 2K12 on the Wii, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then I got NBA 2K14 on Xbox 360. And then I saw the next gen PS4 NBA 2K14, which had just dropped, and it was an absolutely 1,000 times upgrade from the current gen version at the time on the 360. I was absolutely astounded and in awe at seeing it on YouTube. And so I did at the time. I was in 8th grade. I sold my little brother all of my Legos for like $300 or $400, and I had a lot of Legos, like thousands of dollars worth of Legos. That was my main thing when I was younger. And I decided to buy the PS4 and NBA 2K14 on that. PS4 is one of my favorite games of all time by far, but I kept buying 2K every single year, and I would pour a lot of time into it. 2K15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I skipped like 21 to 22. I was focusing on other things at the time, and I got 23, a little bit of 24, a little bit of 25, and then 2K26 came out, and this one looked a little bit different, and so I got it at the time when I was working on this guide, and it was very, very fun for me at the time. I definitely got pretty addicted pretty fast. I wasn't spending that much time on the game because I would only allow myself to play it really on the weekends at night when my girl fell asleep, because she falls asleep very early. Even on weekends when she's trying to stay up, she can't really stay up. So that was the time I'd focus on it. But my brain had become so addicted to the dopamine from that game that I was just constantly thinking about playing it. Even when I wasn't playing it during the week, when I was working, I was thinking about the game. I couldn't wait until the weekend came so I could play the game, trying to resist playing the game at the current moment during the week, etc. Because of this, I was not able to fully lock into the flow state when it came to making the PE guide that I was working on. I was working on it a lot, but I was not being as productive as I could have been, or as locked in as I could have been, because my brain was scattered and my brain was attaching to a certain level of dopamine and a different source of dopamine than getting satisfaction just from completing the guide. So I was doing the guide not just to do it for the purpose of doing it itself, but so that I could, when the weekend came, not feel bad about actually getting my dopamine source my brain really wanted, which was at the time was the game. Around this time, one of my all-time favorite bands, known as Wardruna, it is like a Viking folk music war chant band from the Scandinavia, and they were going on tour and they were coming to Chicago. So I planned to come see them that week in Chicago during all of this. And when I went to it, I was given some psilocybin mushrooms by someone to take for the concert as well. And so I took them. And if you guys don't know, shrooms really make you objectively observe yourself. Observe all areas of your life. If there's any insecurities that you're ignoring or any things that you're putting off that you should be focusing on, it's going to come to light. The shrooms are going to show you what you've been doing wrong, and also going to show you what you need to do right. But you're not just going to be able, it's not like a drug like marijuana or alcohol where you can just smoke it, drink it, and just forget about your problems. Not at all like that. If anything, you'll think about your problems even more, but That's a good thing. It helps show you the ways in which you're not aligned, which we tend to fall into cycles of during our day-to-day life, week to week, even month to month. And so during this whole concert, all of a sudden I couldn't stop thinking about and obsessing about how long this PE guide was taking me. For multiple weeks in a row, I would tell my clients on group call that I would have the guide done by next group call. I said it was an amazing guide, which it was. I was making it very detailed. But for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I said I was going to have it done by the next group call, and it wasn't. And I think that, honestly, if it wasn't for the game, even though I wasn't playing it, if I just was fully locked in mentally, my brain wasn't scattered because of the dopamine source of wanting and thinking about playing the game, I could have gotten it done in that first week that I said I would have it done. So this was pissing me off. I couldn't stop thinking about it, how pathetic it was that I was a grown man who's being unaligned and not keeping my promises to my clients because of this stupid fucking video game that is doing nothing positive for my life whatsoever. Another thing the shrooms were revealing to me was that the guide had no longer become my purpose. How it should be is that I am working on this guide to help men become the best version of themselves, which is my purpose, and I should get satisfaction just with that in the state that it was, just for fulfilling that purpose. Instead, I was working on the guide as something to make me feel good about when the weekend came, being able to fulfill what my brain at that point had attached itself to in terms of being my purpose, which is what addictions are, which was playing NBA 2K26 on my PlayStation. So I pretty much couldn't even enjoy the concert the whole time because I just kept ruminating on this stuff and couldn't stop thinking about it. I said, what do I do? What do I do about this? I have to do something. On the way back, as I was kind of coming off the shrooms, as we were driving back, I wasn't driving, don't worry. As we were driving back, I realized that I needed to get rid of my PlayStation. And I also realized that I didn't not only want to get rid of it, I wanted to take revenge on it. I was angry at what I had allowed it to do to my life. I felt like it was this source, this demon in my life, which is what addictions are, which was keeping me back from my full potential and for me reaching the goals that I wanted to reach in life with making that guide, in addition to probably a lot of other things that weren't as aligned during that time because of that. So I decided I wasn't just going to throw it in the garbage, but I was going to make a stand and actually do something symbolic to it to show that I had fully defeated it. So what I did when I got back, I made preparations to do it in a legal and safe way. And then, yes, I indeed shot my PlayStation with a gun, and it was completely destroyed. And it was a very exhilarating and adrenaline-filled feeling doing that. The next morning, I woke up. I felt deep regret for doing it. I was like, oh no, all my saved data. I'm not going to be able to play with my friends anymore, etc. But in the following days after that, I felt immense freedom and peace and gratitude that I had done that and been freed of the chains of that addiction, because that's what addictions are. They are chains keeping your brain back from fulfilling its purpose. Not only fulfilling its purpose, even if you're doing the things you have to get done, you're a functioning addict, your brain is doing those things just in order for it to be able to get another hit of the addiction. It's not doing those things for the higher cause of your purpose, which is what I also realized during this time. Since then, I have not craved playing video games at all for pretty much one of the first times in my life. I got many times where I wasn't into gaming, but it was always there. Now I don't think about it at all. I'm glad that I don't have it whatsoever. Yes, I miss once in a while I get on the mic with my old homies and have a fun night, maybe once a month or something like that. But I do miss that. But it's not worth having access to something that can take me off my path and unalign me like that. Which brings us to the main message of this video, which is that you must be aggressive in your attack on the war against your addictions. If you are addicted to looking at sites that you shouldn't look at and touching yourself, you should put up very, very hard boundaries that make it pretty much impossible to give in, such as having an accountability app where a peer can see when you disable the website blocker and can see what sites that you go on if your addiction is that bad. If you are trying to cut and you are someone who has a huge appetite, keep that junk food, keep sugar out of the house. When I'm cutting, a lot of times I just, on the way back from the gym, stop by the grocery store and just get exactly what I need. I find that if I go get a whole week of groceries and I'm like, oh, let me get this snack, I'll get this snack, and have these throughout the week. I eat all the snacks early on because I have a huge appetite. So it's just that doesn't work for me. Other things, keep marijuana, alcohol, nicotine out of the house so you cannot get access to it when you're at home craving it. destroy or get rid of your gaming console if that is a problem for you, like it is for me. I don't think video games are all that horrible. I think you can enjoy them from time to time to relax. But if you do have an addiction, you have to be honest with yourself, like I was. I did have an addiction to that at that time, and it was negatively affecting my life, even though gaming is very nostalgic for me, and I was always a gamer at heart. So that's the decision I had to make. Do I want to be better towards the path of becoming the best version of myself and getting the life that I want for myself and fulfilling my purpose, or do I want to enjoy the addiction, which, guess what? Every time I would actually get to the weekend and play the game, it was never satisfying. I remember every single time I'd tell my girl, she's like, "Oh, did you have fun playing your game?" I was like, "No, it wasn't even satisfying. I don't even know why I want to play it. It's just an addiction." That's how it is, guys. You know how it is if you have addictions. It's never even satisfying to get it. Yes, your brain gets like a little bit of happiness, but afterwards it's you're left empty again. So no matter what it is, guys, put hard boundaries up. If you are having trouble scrolling on your phone, get app blocking apps that you cannot disable, that block your apps at certain times of the day, that are strict, that are very hard to disable. There's apps like that exist. Opal is a good app for that. And when you have this aggressive attack, plan, and defense against your addictions, you are going to have the best opportunity to set yourself up to fully overcome them, be free from them, and break the chains that they bind you to and hold you back from getting to where you want in life and becoming the person that you want to be. If you guys have any experience with addictions that you have overcome, or you're currently dealing with something and just want to talk about it, leave a comment below. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe for truth. Peace.